Thanks for joining us on Tandem Radio for a very special segment, By Design, focused on helping you understand how God designed you so that you may be healthy and productive in fulfilling God's purposes in your life for many years to come. Now let's join our host, health expert and public speaker, Dr. James Proodian.
Welcome to the By Design radio program. My name is Dr. James Proodian of Proodian Healthcare and ProodianHealthcare.com, where health literacy is the key to longevity. And as long as God has us on this side of eternity, my show is designed to help educate you and your families to feel better, function better, and live as many quality, disease-free years as possible. Well, if you've been keeping up with me over the last, I think it's been, this is my fourth show on stress management. So this is part 4 of stress management. Feel free to stay tuned in. You don't have to jump back to one right now. If you haven't listened to parts 1 through 3, please go to tandemradio.com, go to the By Design tab, and go to archive shows, because I'd love for you to catch up. I think I'm going to be able to conclude stress management today. We'll see how things go. Stay with me. We've really covered a lot of ground. The stress management component of the triad of health, remember the triad is made up of physical, nutritional, and psychological. So our psychological behavior, how we process data, our interaction with people, our relationships, the day-to-day activities, the things we can and cannot control, all of these things make up our body's or our brain's ability to process stress, and that will have either a positive or a negative impact on our bodies, how we feel and how we function, and how long we live. One of the things I haven't done in the first few shows, I haven't said to you that stress is actually good. It's designed. We're designed to process stress. There is healthy stress. To give you an example of that, if you go to the gym and you work out, you want to develop muscle tone. That's a stressful reaction. You're putting your bicep in a bicep curl. That's a stressful reaction to your bicep. How does your body respond? Your body responds by making the bicep bigger and stronger. All right? So remember, stress is not just a negative thing, even though we're really outlining the negative during these 4 parts of stress management. It's a positive thing. We're designed by God to be able to process stress, internalize it, and become stronger because of it. So that being said, Luke 1:37, for with God nothing is impossible. The show is designed around that Bible verse. We could do a lot of things. Our bodies are incredible. The Lord has given us this amazing temple that we're designed to learn about so that we are better equipped to take care of it. And nothing is impossible, because every day in private practice, I see patients reverse chronic illness, take back their health, and utilize information such as how our thyroid gland, secretes a hormone, and that hormone impacts our adrenal gland, which secretes, we've been talking about adrenaline and cortisol, and those hormones make up the adrenal-driven lifestyle. A lot of Americans are on this treadmill of life, this adrenal-driven lifestyle. And where I left off last show, we talked about cortisol's impact on REM sleep, and we talked about cortisol's impact on bone density and how our bodies are designed to heal while we sleep. We go into a different physiological state when we sleep, and it's designed for 8 or 9 good quality hours to go and clean up the debris that's left over from the day. So where I left off last time, we talked about modern medicine today and how my problem with the way many of these complex syndromes like the adrenal-driven lifestyle are treated, which means that we look at a blood test and let's say we have the thyroxine, which is the hormone made by your thyroid gland, and it's decreased, and we have hypothyroidism. So many patients are taking Synthroid or synthetic thyroxine, which is the thyroid hormone, and rightfully so. There's nothing wrong if your doctor prescribes that. But my point is, because we have an inactive or an underactive thyroid, well, the adrenal gland is then affected, and the adrenal gland starts producing the hormone adrenaline and cortisol, and these hormones are designed for fight or flight, and then they become elevated in the bloodstream. And the next organ that gets involved, one of the organs, is the liver. And many people don't know this, but the liver actually makes cholesterol. So cholesterol is a stress hormone made by our liver. It's naturally made by our liver. We all need cortisol. Cortisol is we all need cholesterol. I apologize. The liver makes cholesterol. We all need cholesterol. All right. So as much as cholesterol gets all of that bad press and everybody's concerned about high cholesterol, cholesterol is an important stress hormone that's made by our liver. So if we think about that, now that hormone, because of the adrenal gland being driven so hard, becomes elevated. So we've got the thyroid, we have the adrenal gland, we have the liver. Then the next hormone or the next organ is the pancreas. And the pancreas makes insulin. So insulin is also a hormone. It's made by your pancreas, and in this environment of stress, we're going to make more insulin because that's trying to counterbalance the sugar that's in all of us. So now the brain is getting all of this feedback from these organs and glands like, wow, man, we're in a stressful state. What are we going to do? And the brain then becomes very anxious. So we have anxiety and depression set into the brain. So we take Prozac and Lunesta to sleep because under all of the stress, our brains can't sleep. So we have to take the medication. And the pancreas, if we have increased insulin, we're taking metformin or glucophage because we're now pre-diabetic or diabetic. And of course, for the cholesterol, we're doing Lipitor or statin drugs. And we're treating these things very single-dimensionally when it's all one orchestra. It's one cascade. And what's interesting about cholesterol is actually the precursor to make testosterone. And you've seen it now in the news, on the commercials, low T, right? Low testosterone in men. And in women, the estrogen starts to really drop off around menopause. So that's another hormone. That's another hormonal cycle. And this hormonal imbalance, you don't have to know all of the numbers and the values, guys. But what we're talking about is this orchestra of hormones that our bodies are constantly making. And the brain is interpreting this data like a big CPU in a computer system, right? And it's sending out signals and messengers, and it's complex biochemistry that's designed and built in us that you don't think about on day to day because it happens from a natural perspective. It just happens. But those imbalances and all of those hormones, do you think we should be treating them with a single dimensional approach, or do you think we should be treating them as one unified orchestra? So if we're treating the thyroid with Synthroid, or liver with Lipitor, or the pancreas with metformin, or the brain with Prozac and Lunesta, or the testicular ovarian system with hormone replacement like progesterone, estrogen, and testosterone, we have to link them all together because stress can be the very thing driving this hormonal imbalance. And hopefully I've made that clear because this is complex biochemistry, but I'm really trying to whittle it down so as you're driving in your car or listening to the show, you kind of get the fact that it's more than single dimensional. Some of the things I want to leave you or end the show with today are what should we do? What are the practical boots on the ground approach to reducing stress? Emotional, mental stress. One of the most important things I tell my patients and my audiences is identify what you can and cannot control. Get yourself a health journal. Write down the things in your life that you feel are mental and emotional stressors. What are some of the things that you can control versus things you can't control? If you're taking care of a sick loved one right now, and that might have to be, you can't control that. That's something that's in your life that you need to maybe break away from time to time, build into your life an infrastructure where maybe you go grab a massage or you do some passive thing like for yourself, like go into more prayer time or spend more time at church. But don't do a physical activity. Do something where you're calm and relaxed. Another bullet point here is keep real expectations of yourself and others. Stop and smell the roses. If you go on vacation, go on vacation. Hey guys, don't paint the house while you're on vacation. Okay, nobody wants to see you anyway. Get out of here. Go away. Rest, repair, and rejuvenate. Your body's just like an athlete. An athlete has to take time to rest and repair their bodies in order to grow and be better performers. You can't be a great performer as a parent, as someone in your workplace, in your community, if you're not resting and repairing your body. So stop and smell the roses. Talk with friends and significant others. Talk means go out, have some tea, and talk. Don't text and email. Talk face to face, eyeball to eyeball. Seek out a great prayer group and if you need counseling, find a good Christian counselor. If it's gotten to the point where you're dealing with anxiety and depression, contact me if you'd like. I know some great ones in New Jersey that I refer to. Write down your feelings and what stresses you out in that health journal. Read it, look at it, and make it a priority, because all of those downstream things that I just spoke to you about, all of those downstream hormonal imbalances will never be addressed if you don't address the priorities in your life of the things you can and cannot control. Listen to relaxing music, okay? Laugh as much as you can. Enhance your personal relationships. Enhance them. It means focus on them. And share your life in a meaningful way. Volunteer work is an essential way we should all be sharing our lives. If you do something, remember, a candle loses no light by sharing its light with another candle. Teach someone your trade. If you know how to fix an engine, guys, teach someone else that trade. It's healthy. It's a healthy thing to do. If you know how to knit or sew, share it with someone in a meaningful way. Get regular exercise, but regular exercise, moderate exercise, and the type of exercise that's right for you at this time in your life. Be careful who you're taking your advice from. Strength and resistance training is essential. Go for a massage. Learn how to breathe. Do belly breathing as opposed to chest breathing, and get into great prayer time while you're breathing. Okay, these are the things that we have to temper the physiological effects of daily mental stress. All right, so we really want to focus on the things we can and cannot control. We want to focus on positive mental imagery as we pray, as we focus on our family and our communities. And as we go through this process, get a comprehensive blood panel taken by your doctor and have it interpreted not from a single-dimensional perspective, but from a multi-dimensional perspective, because your bodies are complex and they should never be seen as a single-dimensional being. Okay, so that's enough for 1 week. You've been listening to the By Design radio program. Thank you for listening to me, Dr. James Proodian. Take care. God bless you and be well.
You've been listening to By Design with Dr. James Proodian of Proodian Healthcare. To learn more, visit us at tandemradio.com. That's tandemradio.com, or on Facebook. And don't forget to email us with your questions. We'd love to hear from you. In the meantime, hope you have a healthy week, and we look forward to you joining us next time for more fantastic insights from Dr. James Proodian on By Design, a special production of Tandem Radio.